So I made my Pragmata video, and during that video I talked about the cancelled Mega Man X Maverick Hunter game, or just known as Maverick Hunter, which is unfortunately a confusing title because there was a PSP game called Mega Man X Maverick Hunter, which was a remake of Mega Man X, which is what this game was supposed to be. It is one of the few cancelled Mega Man games that sticks in my head a lot, because Mega Man, and many games, but specifically Mega Man, has had a lot of cancelled games, and I feel like every Mega Man fan has the one that they lament the most, and this is the one that I lament the most, ironically enough, because I feel like this is the one that I probably would have hated back in the day. I want to ask the question today of would have this worked in the grand scheme of things, because I feel like now a remake like this looks crazy, but this was kind of the thing of the time, right? Where for some reason, Capcom comes to mind the most for this one, but for some reason they decided to AAA-ify or grit-ify their franchises, such as Bionic Commando or DMC Devil May Cry, where they decided to change it up, and they decided to change it up in a gritty and darker way. And for the most part, I don't know if they worked that well. I can arguably say they didn't because they're not around to this day, but I feel like it made sense around the time. I feel like at the time that these remakes were happening, I was in my teenage years, so they did definitely appeal to me. They didn't hold up as well as the originals did, and let's be honest, all of us kind of wish, at least for DMC, we were hoping for just DMC 5 to come out instead of DMC Devil May Cry. But at the time it did feel kind of like I was being seen, I guess. I don't know, it made me feel like, yeah, these are more mature games. Zelda Twilight Princess came out, and so on and so forth, and I felt like, yeah, the gaming companies are understanding, you know, we're getting older. With that being said though, when you think of Mega Man, I don't think you're ever gonna go, oh yes, the dark, gritty remake works for it. And I think that, like, that's why they went with X. This one was such an interesting game because I have no clue if it would have honestly worked, and it might have gotten the same reception as the other two games. I knew that Bionic Commando wasn't well loved, and DMC Devil May Cry was panned for the most part, but it was actually a really good game. And I feel like for the most part, Maverick Hunter would have probably been more like DMC Devil May Cry because the gameplay itself looks super solid. It's just, it would have probably been another one that had a game but like just didn't work out. A first-person Mega Man game does not sound like a bad idea. A first-person Mega Man X game doesn't sound like a bad idea. This art style and design doesn't seem like a bad idea, but it makes you question what would have happened, especially since, right, we only see these demos. We don't see anything else, and it was canceled so early, so it makes sense that they didn't go far with it, especially since Mega Man is a franchise that's hard for me to go, yes, let's gritify it, especially since in Mega Man X we have these like cutified animal bosses, because that's where this one kind of goes. And in my mind, I guess I can see where you would go with that, kind of having this weird mechanical slash organic slash inorganic beast to be the boss, but I just don't know what that would honestly look like. And that, I think, is the biggest problem with this game, is that it's a hard sell through and through, because I don't know exactly what this game would look like. From what I see, I like what X looks like. He fits that time, he fits that overly designed aesthetic, and I kind of enjoy it, and I think that I enjoy it just because it never happened. I don't know where I would have felt at this game. I might have enjoyed it, but I also, like I said in my Pragmata video, I was also a hipster. So there's a good part of me that would have just looked at this and went, ugh, right? Even if it was popular, I would have disliked it because it wasn't the traditional norm. I think the reason why I'm so attached to this game is because it is such a departure of a franchise that I absolutely love, and it's always interesting to see something like that. The thing is, I don't know if it would have worked. I think that that's just the biggest catch. No matter what, I don't know how this game would have worked out. There's a grenade that looks like it pulls in other items and then explodes. Cool idea. It seems that there's this kind of like finisher move. Pretty cool. I guess the best way for me to say it is that this game's a conflicted one. I feel like my wife, because I'm playing the game of Untold Stories a little bit, of where I have to ask the question of would I like this game alongside would it have succeeded, and I honestly have no clue. I think this game is kind of like many other canceled projects, of where I'm gonna sit here and lament its lack of existence, but if it came out, I would have panned it. Like, this happens multiple times with Sonic Extreme or many other games that we talk about that are canceled, and we go, oh man, that would have been so cool. But in reality, there's a reason why it didn't make it. If it was that cool, if it was that good, then it would have just came out, right? Despite the fact that it was overly dramatic. Is what I would say if it was any other company. Boy oh boy has time flew, because me saying that is forgetting about how Capcom used to be. See, if you are a Capcom fan, you would remember that there was a time where they just canceled a lot of things or pulled the, oh, you didn't buy enough copies copies kind of mentality towards their games. So this is something I'd say about games like Sonic Extreme, but this is a Capcom game, and I completely forgot about the dark ages of Capcom while making this video, because this one could have just been killed because it was Tuesday on Capcom. There is almost no rhyme or reason for why it probably got canceled. That's just kind of how it feels with these ones, especially with Mega Man Legends being one of those ones of where they're like, oh, hey, we don't have enough interest. Bullshit. So I completely lost myself there for a second, forgetting exactly about the time that we were in around this point, but that's what it was. So forgive me for getting that. Now, with that being said, this game might have came out regardless if DMC and Bionic Commando, and if there was another one didn't come out. There's a good chance that Mega Man X Maverick Hunter would have came out, but then that's just not how it works. That's just not how, like, life works. I can't reason with the unreal all because I think that maybe those ones ruined it. I don't know exactly what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that this game looks very interesting, and it does definitely fit the era, and it is something that now will sit in my head forever. It just kind of scratched with something like Pragmata. It'll never really scratch that itch because I'm always going to be curious of what Mega Man X Maverick Hunter really was like and how this game would have played. But then again, that's just because I'm a giant Mega Man fan. I could even say a Capcom fan for the most part. So with that being said, what are your thoughts on Mega Man X Maverick Hunter? Yes, I know that there's other projects. For instance, if you're gonna say, oh, are you gonna do Mega Man Legends 3? No, that legitimately upsets me. That and Red Ash, which was also commented in the Pragmata video, upsets me. I really love Mega Man Legends. I really love Mega Man Legends, and I don't have the fortitude to sit here and go, ooh, what would have happened? Because I don't really care. I would have bought it anyways. I would have bought it multiple times like I did with Mega Man Legends. I own so many versions of this game. The PSP Japanese release, I own the PlayStation version, the 64 version. I love Mega Man Legends. If I had the money, I would have bought the Tron Bonne game. I would have bought Mega Man Legends 2, you know? Legends 2 isn't that hard of a buy, but the Tron Bonne game is. But I am that big of a Mega Man Legends fan. I think that most of my love for the Mega Man franchise comes from Legends. So, no, I'm not strong enough to do that one. That legitimately would make me upset. So with that being said, what do you guys feel? Tell me in your comment section below. How do you guys think the game would have been, and what is your dream canceled game? The one that, like, you would like to see, even if it's not good. I'll see you guys next time when I'm gonna ramble about something else stupid. Bye!